Well, hello there, and what's up, Reaction Faction? It's Deadpool. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and follow me on Patreon. Any tips on getting into the MCU there, Korg?
Have a dream, chase it, lose that dream, just sabotage all sorts of happiness in the pursuit of that dream, climb up to the peaks of that mountain, and when you get to the top, land at the bottom and realize you're never gonna achieve that dream, and at that point, check your emails. Maybe you'll get something from your agent saying, Marvel wants to talk.
Yeah, I prefer Dark World. Last week, you all really liked my Cruella trailer reaction video. Where are the f***ing dogs? So this week, I'll be reacting to a trailer for a movie which I honestly thought came out like a year ago. Free Guy. Apparently it's this August. We also have a guest reactor this week, Korg, who was not my first choice, but apparently everyone else was too busy over on Disney+. Say hello, Korg.
Hello, made of rocks. Thank you for having me, Paul. Sorry you're dead.
Jesus Christ. Let's take a look.
My name is Guy.
Oh, he's named Guy, like the movie's title.
That's pretty clever. Is it?
Let's just pause for a second to let everyone comment first, or this trailer gives away too much, or Ryan Reynolds is just me, which is super insulting, by the way. All done? Oh, Jodie Comer.
Foster.
God, I love her so much. Oh, I hope they don't fridge her.
What's fridging?
Well, it's the practice of killing off or hurting a female character in order to motivate or torture the main character, also known as Deadpool 2. Thank you for asking.
We call that bridging.
Any thoughts on our villain, Korg?
Looks like he's got 4 arms, and the 2 lower ones have got gloves on. I like him.
You have a Disney Plus show, don't you, face? Oh, God. Ooh, trademark infringement. Oh, look at him go. That little blue shirt. Oh, his face is so punchable. That's Taika Waititi.
He seems quite nice, actually.
A rabbit.
Maybe this is the live-action Thumper we all haven't been waiting for.
Jump and catch the ball!
Wow, body airbag. Love it.
I can't die!
Something bad's gonna, yep, there you go. Okay, this looks fun in a last days of Fox fire sale kind of way. Not sure if it was worth diverting Canadian Cumberbatch's little mind away from my next movie, or, you know what, I'm gonna give it, I'll give it 4 out of 5 avocados. Korg?
I was raised by avocados.
Oh my God, just kill me now. Half a f***ing penny of you for this
Welcome back, everyone. Maximum Effort. Big surprise, Ryan Reynolds released a brand new Deadpool trailer crossover with the MCU Korg because he's promoting another movie, but doing it as a sort of Deadpool in the MCU kind of trailer. So we'll break it all down. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs here. Obviously, he takes shots at himself, at the Marvel movies, at all the Disney Plus stuff, Kevin Feige, pretty much all the Marvel actors in general. I will be doing more Deadpool 3 videos because they're in the middle of making that movie right now, if you were wondering. They haven't talked about it in a while, but he does actually mention Deadpool 3 a couple times during this trailer video. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. There's obviously a bunch of Marvel Disney Plus stuff coming up. We have the Loki finale, and then there's all the other Marvel Disney Plus shows that are coming later this year. I do love how he jokes that Korg was like his last pick, like he wasn't my first choice, but all of the other Marvel actors were busy on Disney Plus. Just joking about all the Marvel Disney Plus shows that they're making right now, all the movie actors that are doing those. The funny quote that Ryan Reynolds gave when he released this is that if you include Deadpool's Cocaine Rider, this is the most expensive reaction video ever made. So they're also playing this as if Deadpool has his own YouTube channel inside the MCU or inside the Deadpool movies, and he releases these videos on the regular. The joke he goes out on, half a penny a view for this crap, is just a joke about him having a super low CPM on his YouTube videos, probably because he's so graphic he swears so much. Just a joke about censorship in general on YouTube. He's also calling this promo Deadpool Maximum Reactions, like this is a video series that Deadpool himself has been doing for a while. So what I'm hoping is that when they actually finish making Deadpool 3, they'll actually just have Deadpool, quote-unquote, hijacked to take over Ryan Reynolds' real-life YouTube channel and use that to release a lot of the viral promos. But the other big reason why they're doing this, to promote that movie that he made with Taika Waititi, Free Guy, is because they made that movie at Fox just as they were finishing the Fox-Disney buyout deal. So that's why he's making fun of this movie, saying it feels like it's kind of like a Last Days at Fox fire sale situation. Because after Disney finished buying Fox, there were all these Fox movies that they were in the middle of making, and Disney had to decide which ones to can, which ones to finish making, and this was just one of the ones that they opted to finish and release. So they kind of ran into a New Mutant situation with Ryan Reynolds' new movie, because Fox is now Disney, so technically this is Disney releasing a Fox movie, even though Ryan Reynolds made it at Fox before the Disney buyout. That's also why he's making all the trademark infringement jokes when the Free Guy trailer starts shouting out from the studio that made Deadpool, because technically Disney now owns the Deadpool trademark. And I'm actually surprised that they paid money to do the full motion capture special effects for Korg. And it's Korg going to Deadpool's house, like his little shack that he's living in now inside the Deadpool universe. They take a ton of shots at Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool movies, in addition to making fun of all the Marvel movies, Kevin Feige, and making fun of Taika Waititi in the Thor movies as well. Like, he says that Ryan Reynolds is me, which is super insulting to him as Deadpool the character. Like, how dare Ryan Reynolds play me in a movie? But I love how Deadpool asks him how you break into the MCU, and Korg also makes this huge Marvel burn by saying you basically have to fail at achieving your dream after trying over and over, then you die inside a little, and then all you have to do is wait for your agent to call, and maybe he'll have a new job for you inside the MCU. Which is also them making fun of a lot of the really big actors in the MCU having trouble doing non-Marvel movies that they developed themselves. And because of what's happening with the Marvel Phase 4 movies, they're also making fun of a lot of the newer Hollywood actors that are just now joining the MCU movies, like the Eternals movie has a ton of big stars in it that you wouldn't have normally expected to be in a Marvel movie, like Angelina Jolie. What's she doing in a Marvel movie? The whole burn that they make on Deadpool 2 about fridging when they talk about Jodie Comer's character, saying that they hope that she doesn't get fridged in this new movie, is a reference to what happened to Vanessa during Deadpool 2. They killed her off really quickly at the beginning of Deadpool 2, and it became part of Deadpool's motivation during the movie. And in fact, she actually seemed like she had less to do in that movie than she did in the first Deadpool film. But I think they've already confirmed that Vanessa is coming back in Deadpool 3, and I think they're going to basically fix all that, so she will actually have more to do in Deadpool 3. They did say some of the actors from the Deadpool Fox movies will come into Deadpool 3 into the MCU. If you look in the background too, there is a bunch of random Easter eggs all over the place. Not really specific Easter eggs, but they're playing this as if it's Deadpool's shack, and his apartments from the first couple of Deadpool movies are just full of all kinds of junk. But the way they're filming this, it also looks kind of like they used Ryan Reynolds' house in real life, because he uses his house to film a lot of his promos for his YouTube channel there. If you've seen any of the interviews that he's done in the past year, it looks like he's in this log cabin looking place. That's actually part of his house in real life in New York. He has this giant house where he also films a lot of this smaller stuff like you're seeing right here in the trailer. There's a random mannequin hand in the background, baked pumpkins, a leather bag full of junk, a couple of high school trophies. Those actually might be Ryan Reynolds' real-life high school trophies. And some of the other modern camera gear, like the ring light that you see in the background, is probably just camera gear that Ryan Reynolds uses when filming himself. If you remember the first look from Thor Love and Thunder they released a while ago with Taika Waititi and Chris Hemsworth as Thor and Korg, you actually show him without his motion capture, but he's in Korg's costume. You notice that this is his costume from Thor Ragnarok. Even though they're done filming, they're not going to release the movie till next year, so I think they're holding off on releasing a bunch of promos and stuff for that till way later this year. But the whole cabin vibe here is also meant to remind you of Korg living with Thor in his house in New Asgard back during Avengers Endgame. And you notice there's a little game controller sitting in front of him, so I think that's just another backdoor reference to Deadpool being Noob Master inside the MCU. But this is also their way of Deadpool and Korg making fun of Ryan Reynolds' Free Guy movie, implying that it's going to fail, he's going to die inside, and then Ryan Reynolds will wait for the call, quote unquote, from his agent saying that they're making a Deadpool movie. Which they've already done, of course. We know that they're making Deadpool 3. And because it's Taika Waititi playing Korg, reacting to Taika Waititi while he's saying this in that Free Guy movie, is sort of like he's saying that he, Taika Waititi, also failed at trying to make some other big dreams, and then he waited for his agent, and that's how he wound up directing Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder. I know a lot of people are wondering if the whole Deadpool in the MCU is going to have something to do with Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness, because with the Loki series now, like we have the Loki finale that's coming out, and they're just completely messing with the timeline and the multiverse in really crazy ways, and we have the Marvel What If series, which is another big multiverse series. There were also a lot of rumors about the plot of Spider-Man No Way Home doing a multiverse version of the Sinister Six team. During Loki episode 1, Miss Minutes also makes a reference when talking about the Sacred Timeline about how the multiverse, if they don't maintain the Sacred Timeline, will devolve into chaos. It will turn into madness, which is meant to be a direct reference to the plot of Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. where you start to see a lot of realities overlapping, crossing over with each other. So even though we don't know completely how Doctor Strange is going to be pulling all of these different people from alternate universes to the main MCU universe, it is one of the ways that Marvel is sort of bringing a lot of these Fox characters into the MCU. Although most of the X-Men characters, for instance, like the core X-Men characters, will just straight up be rebooted with brand new MCU versions of the characters. That doesn't mean that Deadpool is going to show up during Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. It just means that they're going to rely on a lot of those multiverse tropes to explain how he crosses over into the MCU. And because it's Deadpool, he can also comment on how none of it makes sense. Like, wait a minute, where am I now? Am I inside the MCU? What's going on? He also calls himself the Canadian Benedict Cumberbatch, another Doctor Strange reference, when he says he thinks that the Free Guy movie was not worth diverting Ryan Reynolds' mind away from making Deadpool 3. In the way they play the joke, Deadpool knows that they're making a new movie about him and he's trying to get it made faster. And when he starts making fun of Korg and Taika Waititi, saying that he prefers Dark World, he's talking about Thor the Dark World, because that was the last movie before Taika Waititi took over the Thor films. The big thing with Deadpool 3 is that they're probably not going to start filming that till either the very end of this year or next year, and I'm expecting next year, meaning that they won't be able to release it before 2023, but that might wind up being 2024, so don't be surprised if it's a couple more years before we actually see Deadpool 3. The latest movie that we know about that's coming out in the timeline of Marvel Phase 4 is the Fantastic Four movie, and that's basically going to be summer 2023, it seems like. The only other movies that we know about for sure after that are going to be the Blade movie, but they didn't put that in that big promo they released earlier this year, so we don't know exactly when that's going to be released, but it'll probably be later in 2023. So everybody just let me know in the comments, what do you think about them doing these Deadpool MCU trailers now? I feel like they should have been doing this a long time ago, but my next big video will be for the Loki episode 6 finale. That'll post Wednesday just like normal. I've got a whole bunch of bonus videos planned for later this week. If you have any big requests for special Marvel videos, let me know in the comments. There are supposed to be a couple big trailers in the next couple of weeks as well, and then all the Marvel What If episodes will start, and I'll be doing full episode videos for that too. Everyone click here for my Loki deleted scenes video for Loki vs. Frog Thor, and click here for my full Loki episode 5 video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe and maximum effort.